Will we see the 50% quota limit being removed in view of the new census? Well, that's exactly what we will discuss. Joining us on the show is Dr. Dharinder Dayal, BJP spokesperson. Nikat Abbas, Congress spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Mr. Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, with us on the program. Last but not the least, Advocate Gyanendra Mishra, political analyst, also joins us on the show. Sumit Peer, well, the caste census, it was something that the opposition for a very, very long time had accused the central government of avoiding. But now they are targeting the government, saying that they have brought it up at a time where tensions are flaring up between India and Pakistan. And they're accusing the government that this is going to create more of a distraction from what the government needs to do right now, rather than the actual, benefits of having this census. Your take?
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Yes, we are going through a difficult time, and I have a point of view which is my personal, and I don't have any information, or I'm not privy to any special information on this. I believe Congress has used its power and veto power and discretion right now to push the government to announce this, because that is the ploy of the Congress to divide the Hindu society and start this unending caste war in India, which will dismantle and which will break the society into smaller parts. Congress is not clear and does this so-called Jatigat Janaganna include Muslims? 72 firke Musalmanon ke bhi hai. Does what happens if the outcome of the reservations if the outcome of the census is altogether different? If some sections their reservation quotas are decreased and for some sections they increase, how do you handle it? What if there is a shift between the OBC and SC reservation? And by the way, when you talk about the Muslim community is part of OBC, Muslim community is part of ST reservation. That's the notion I want to set the clear for the perspective. Now, this idea of Congress is half-baked, because if Congress wanted to do it, then when Manmohan Singh ji promised it, he got it done, he never published the data. Yesterday on your show, one of the Congress Pravakta was saying, because we could not compile the data. Well, ma'am, there's a technology called Big Data and Hadoop, it can do it in just 5 minutes. So don't tell us 1.5, 2 years you could not compile the data. In Karnataka, you had got the Jatigat Janaganna done or the caste census done. Why the data was not published? What stops Rahul Gandhi from getting that data published? In my opinion, I think Congress is trying to use the situation where the country is going through a difficult time, where we are headed for a conflict with Pakistan. They are trying to use this opportunity to twist the arm of the government and twist the arm of the Honorable Prime Minister and make him to politically comply to this, because that suits their narrative. And the question is that if this is what Congress wants to do in one, and on top of that, what are you doing? You're going and accusing the government because you want to do this to distract attention. Distract attention from what? When? If there's a change in tomorrow, as when the data comes out, will they agree to the change? If some castes are taken out and some castes are taken in, will they agree to the change? Why they have not done it in the time of Dr. Manmohan Singh ji? Why Karnataka has not given the data? These are some of the questions which Rahul Gandhi needs to be asked, and he must answer. And another thing is, when we talk about the 50% bar, if you look at Indira Sahni case and all other cases which have gone where there is a kind of a sacrosanct bar, because Constitution says we have to be fair to others, with all the love and respect for our Dalit, OBC and ST brothers and sisters. But what about those people who are non-OBC, who are non-Dalit or non-ST? What happens to their laws? What happens to their liberty? What happens to their freedom? So these are the things, like this is a dangerous path which we are treading. And Rahul Gandhi exactly wants this kind of discussion to start in the country. He wants one Hindu to be pitted against another Hindu, one caste to be pitted against the other caste, and there should be a synchrony between one caste and one other state, and they should be fighting in the other state. That is exactly what they want. And is this a way? I'm putting a very direct question here. Is this a way of asking for Muslim reservation? Because to me, Rahul Gandhi says, "Jiski jitni abadi utna haq." So in a way, if you tomorrow come and say, "Look, dekho ji, Musalman 12% or 14%, whatever, I don't know." But is there a way? Then are you going to demand that because Muslims are 12% or 14%, then 14% seats should be reserved for Muslims? Does it mean that in armed forces you will have 14% Muslims? Does it mean then in parliament you will have 14% Muslims? Does it mean in ISRO, RAW, wherever, EHEL, in private companies you will have 14% Muslims? Is he trying to start the way for that? And if that is happening, and how many seats is he giving? When the women reservation was talked about, how many seats has he given? If you look at today's number, he says there are 52% Dalit brothers in the, OBCs in our country. So as per that logic, what is a Dattatreya Kol Kashmiri Pandit Brahman doing staying at the helm of the affairs of Congress? He should resign and give it to a OBC brother or a SC brother or a ST sister. He should resign first. When it comes to ticket distribution, does Rahul Gandhi follow the logic? When it comes to giving the seats and tickets, and when it comes to making the CWC and those mantralayas and those cabinet ministries and those state ministries, does Congress follow the suit? No, they don't follow it. They have never implemented this. They never wanted to implement this. This is only a way to corner the Modi government, and because there's a dire situation in the country, and bhai na mauke ka fayda uthana, and to divide the Hindu society. That is how you are going to. I look at it, Vineet. Even if you want to do this census, this is very difficult. Har jagah caste ka subcaste, and and even when we tried to do it last time, there were so many bugs in that data. There were so many anomalies. It is physically and technically impossible to comprehend this data, but he still wants you to go through that path. And what is the motive and mission and all, I don't understand. Now blaming the government is like कहते हैं ना हिंदी में जले पे नमक छिड़कना. That is what he wants. And you can't have country run as per, where there will be one. How can a central government have a policy, one in Bihar's Nalanda district and another in Patna Sahib? How can you run a government like that? How can I have one policy for, for example, Bengaluru, and I can have one policy for, say, example, Bundelkhand? It can't be like that. Where does the equal rights what were promised to us by the Constitution go? Where does that we are all equal in the name in front of the state and the law and the Constitution? Where does that go in? And why Congress is silent about the Muslims? Why Congress is silent about the Muslim reservation? Is this a ploy basically to divide the Hindus and get Muslim reservation? That is my allegation on them, and that is where somebody could answer me. I'll be highly grateful.
Okay. Advocate Gyanendra Mishra is also with us on the program. Advocate Mishra, you heard what Sumit said. He's saying that Congress is using this opportunity at a time